Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds. I am Nerdarchist Ted, and we are going to play some 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons tonight. As you can see from the little title bar, this is episode 7 of Untraditionally Arcane. This is where these fine people have taken the wizard subclasses, all of the traditional schools of magic, and thrown them out the window. We're playing with some other things, and there's story reason to boot for it. Before we go any further, I'll allow everyone to introduce themselves. Reminders, there are links to where you can find these happy people all over the internet down in the description below. And I always throw it to our producer first, so take it away, Jake.
Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and that's where you can find me when I'm not here this one Friday a month. Over on Mini Terrain Domain on Twitch, where we run our Scribes and Scrolls, the Candlekeep Mysteries weekly campaign on Monday nights and on Thursday nights. After a brief hiatus, we just returned last night with Dawnbringers Season 5, Episode 30, where the players got to take down not one, but two big bad evil girls. Actually, just some very evil women that had been plaguing them for a while. But I have also just recently almost completely finished catching all of the VODs up on the Mini Terrain Domain YouTube page, so you can check that out as well. I am playing Odo Wonderbeard, a wizard school of beardomancy. And I'm going to throw it over to me.
Hi everyone, I'm V-Muse. You pretty much can find me everywhere as V-Muse, except for my YouTube channel and Twitch channels, which are at the Crafting Muse for reasons. Tonight I am going to play Speranza Desani. She is the Mark of Healing Halfling Wizard, Graviturgy to be expected. Because, you know, small things and lifting big stuff, it's quite handy. And I think I'm going to toss it over to Fraginator.
Hello, I'm Fraginator. That's my wife.
Hello, wife.
Fraginator's wife.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location that actually has walls and not, tent trailerishness. I will be playing Avtok Treebender, the Loxodon Order of Scribes. And let's see, to go with the pattern, Robin. Nope, that one.
All right.
Robin.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Robin. I write books. Go read Torchlighters. I'm here also on Tuesdays, where we're about to start a new campaign DM'd by Steven. And also over on Quillen's Sword every other Thursday, I will be playing chess, Drow Bladesinger, and of course, our Tiefling is who's left, last but not least.
Yeah. So I'm Asa. I'm with Roll for Mischief. We stream on Twitch on Tuesdays from 12 to 3 Pacific time. I actually got that right. Usually I say I'm with Nerdarchy and I fuck it all up. I'm usually the first person to make D&D not for kids. It's just because I swear too much.
Nailed it.
And I'm playing Joshua, Tiefling, onomancer, and typically I sound like a frightened Winnie the Pooh. So let's see how this goes. Take it away, Ted.
All right, so before we get to tonight's recap as to what happened last time, a little update on the story and what have you, just a gentle reminder. This game is sponsored, as that little trailer in the beginning mentioned, by Easy Roller Dice. You can find two things down in the description below. Not only is there a link to their current Kickstarter, the Heroic Dice of Metallic Luster, which are gorgeous. I have a couple sets here that they sent me to preview, and I did not bring them to show off, so I apologize, but they are fantastic. You have to check it out. My little show off is not going to be as good as what they have on the Kickstarter page. They're knocking it out of the park. You got to check it out. But if you don't want to support them on the Kickstarter, there is a link to easyrollerdice.com as well as a promo code to get a discount on that shop. So go check it out. Support the sponsor, because Easy Roller Dice, whether it's your first set of dice or your 1 millionth set of dice, Easy Roller Dice for all your dice rolling needs. So without further ado, let's dive into tonight's campaign. If this is the first time you're catching up on this wonderful little story, magic has gone awry in the world, at least for, those in the bookish wizarding types, and the schools of magic aren't working right. The apprentices, if you want to call them that now, were brought in with their mentors to the Council of Eight, the 8 ruling wizards of this particular world, to try and go out to find these arcane vessels for each school of magic, and to find them, figure out what's wrong, fix them if they can, report back whatever they find. And so far, they have gone to the Seeing Shrine, the element for, or the vessel for divination magic, found out what's wrong, magically fixed it, and have returned, some slightly changed by their experience. After reporting their deeds and finding out that the goblin that had possessed a portion of Chess's soul has been now removed and stripped out of her and forcibly made into her familiar through a ritual last session, you guys had decided that this time you were planning to finish up whatever you needed to do within the council chambers, and were planning to head off to the Gravane graveyard to seek out the source of necromancy. So without further ado, you guys are in the council chamber, or the council, building, wherever it is that you last left off. Who wants to take it away? Who's doing what?
Oh,
Chess looks like she's thinking.
So I feel like we were following Chess's lead here. So
I mean, I'm just really psyched and ready to go. So like, I'm probably like, I've got notes and stuff and like fresh paper for more notes and stuff and the messenger bag.
Yeah, as always, you guys are given as much downtime and parchment and ink and access to the library. So if there are spells that you want in your spell book, they come free of charge. So
I'm
easy there.
Oh, hell yeah.
a very dangerous thing to say to a scribe wizard.
I'm probably in the I imagine Avtok and Ordo are in a corner of the study area. Avtok probably has the has your parchment and pen already, as I have taught you, as I'm once again casting beard growth on you.
Yes.
To give you the beard that lasts for 8 hours, and once again very carefully going over the spell to teach you the beard growth spell.
All right. And once again, that's 8-hour cast, right? Or not cast, but duration.
It lasts for 8 hours. You get to choose whatever color. I'll actually message you the spell itself, so you have the details. But what color would you like your beard this time?
7.
In my mind, the number 7 has always been a delightful ombre, from yellow to orangish red. And that is the beard you get. It actually looks like flames coming off under your chin.
So would it be wrong to say the beard is hot if it looks like fire?
Would be absolutely right.
Several times over the 8-hour period before that goes away, I will forget it's there, look down, and then start patting myself trying to put it out.
Sorry. So well, I was going to say the two wizards, the Beardomancy and the Order of the Scribe are in the library. Where is anyone else?
Speranza would have been in the library for a little bit, and then she probably would have been looking at maps of the area, if there are any, of where we're about to go. Or is that more like vague information?
So who would you be trying to gather that information from?
Whoever had like the biggest library in their office.
The biggest library in their office.
Mm-hmm.
That would probably be Erixay, the Gnomish Transmuter.
Oh, perfect. So yeah, she'd go tootling off to his
Her.
and her. Sorry, her.
Yeah, no.
I was like, I'm trying to remember. And oh, perfect, halfling gnome, yay! Knock on the door.
So again, she's adorned in greens. Her wild hair unkept, sashes light green, all embroidered with varying shades of green and very natural takes. You'd almost think that based on how she's dressed, is that she's more druid than wizard. Vines even wrapped up in the hair, but you look in the as you look in the room, there are plenty of books. They're lining the shelves, and the desk just seems to dwarf this little gnome. Well, hello. I don't know if apprentice is still appropriate, but what might I do for you?
I was thinking maybe I should look at some maps and stuff to see what kind of groundwork I'll be dealing with, so to speak.
Have you made a decision as to where you are headed next?
Well, the grave one.
Well, let me see here. And the book that is on her desk has 8 different color bookmarks in it, and she kind of like fiddles to the ebony bookmark and pulls it out. The Gravane graveyard. I don't have so much of a map as I do have a description of the area that you would be attending to.
Okay.
The Gravane graveyard is locked into eternal night. There's something about that area, be it attached to the curse, the vessel itself, or just she looks past you for a moment to see if there's anyone else that's moving or lurking about. The perverse nature of necromancy. But the wind whips across the landscape, wearing away the unmarked stones that we assume used to be graves. No leaves remain on any trees. Those that walk the lands are naught but skeletons and zombies, seeking life and praying to find such, to have them join them in a state of undeath as further guardians to the dark lands. What you will be looking for is there are numerous large mausoleums on the landscape. Some of them hold a hidden secret passage to the elder necromantic halls below the surface. It is down within that you will seek the object that you are looking for, which I believe once you see it, you will know. I have never actually beheld it. Perhaps Master Raeleth would be inclined to give more details should you so desire.
He's like the creepy looking guy, right?
He is indeed.
Okay, I think Chess made like some good contacts. So I'll let Chess know that we need to talk with him. Question?
Yes.
Should we bring shovels?
Were you planning to look for?
Well, I mean,
you don't.
well, no, I'm just thinking. No, okay, because like with it being a graveyard, and if there's zombies and skeletons wandering around, I mean that would do like blunt damage. But then if there's something we have to dig up, just in case, you never know. Like, what if they put something in one of the graves and like hit it that way, and that's why all the graves don't have any like writing on them, and the headstone's just blank because they're going to bury things and hide things. That would actually be really smart. Anyways, I got sidetracked. So shovels, yes or no, or we should not bother?
I don't think shovels will be necessary. You have to go beneath the ground, but not through digging to find the object.
Okay.
But if you wish to bring a shovel, we certainly have some here.
right, thank you very much. This was quite helpful, and I'll leave you to it. And she turns on her heel and flounces off, and pretty much all anyone would see is like this big tuft of curly red hair sort of bouncing as she makes her way back to go and find Chess.
You would certainly, even before you left the room, you would hear, the numerous amount of pages get turned all at once. Obviously, she grabbed a bookmark of, a different section to continue reading whatever she was. So you go and look for Chess?
Mm-hmm.
Chess is like in the room we're gonna head off from, either at a table surrounded by papers or in the floor surrounded by papers if there is not a table to be had.
There are tables to be had. While the main meeting hall, does typically have, the upraised dais where the council members sit. And there are normally benches, but because there are no regular meetings happening while all of this nonsense is afoot, they've brought in, tables, and people have begun using working spaces, and, in case you wanted to work with a tool set or work with, several books all at once. It's definitely a larger area to work here than in the library.
Yeah, definitely doing that. Just notes and such.
So Chess is able to easily be found, V.
I think that
Hey,
more than likely Joshua would be in the same place because he was doing, if I remember right, a lot of study into the names of those buried in the graveyard. And
Okay.
so he's likely going through similar things. So two of them have probably been sitting in silence for hours at this point.
Okay, so
Yes.
Joshua and Chess are at the same table, writing, recording, and researching when Speranza walks in the room, and
Occasionally we're like passing each other notes because what he's looking at is like more pertinent to what I'm looking for, and vice versa.
Yeah. It is the most bonding these two characters have had this entire time. And none of it is done with words.
passing notes in study hall. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Speranza looks over at Josh's arm, or kind of like tiptoes, stands on tiptoes.
yeah, by the way, we're not gonna need shovels.
That's probably a good thing.
Well, I just figured I'd check because, dead, undead, graveyards, things like that. And she points to the names of people that Joshua's been looking at. We might encounter them, but it sounds like they're already above ground and unalive and kicking.
Well, that's good to know.
Quite the relief. I wasn't planning on digging anything up.
I mean, if
sometimes
anybody's-
you have to get your hands dirty.
I look
was
at my
going to s-
fingernails.
If anyone's going to be doing any digging, it's probably going to be Avtalk.
This is true.
You're not wrong.
Um,
So I'm gonna have to insert that for whatever reason, Avtalk, walks into the room as that line is said. If anyone's digging, it's Avtalk.
He
Because I
responds,
brought
"You're
the
not wrong."
shovels.
That's what tusks are for.
Mm.
that makes sense. I got a lovely description of the place. Lovely is probably not the right word, really. It's more like disturbing and unsettling, but thorough-ish.
It is a graveyard.
Yeah. Also, your friend, the one who's into, and she'll lean forward because she's like picking up that people don't like to use words, a certain word around here. The one who's into the necro stuff, Mancy.
Rayleigh, yes.
Phrasing.
That's one we might want to talk to as well for more information.
Yeah, I've been speaking to him. I wasn't under the impression that he had been there personally.
No.
I'm sure it couldn't hurt to ask just to make sure that we're not like missing information for lack of clarity, though.
I mean, I could ask, but I have a feeling I'll irritate the ever-loving you-know-what out of him.
He's really not that bad, I promise.
Okay. If you say so.
I'll go with you. And I start packing up a few notes and like leave some of them for Joshua.
Yep, I'll just reach over, take whatever you left behind, and then I don't know. It's a good time to smoke a pipe, maybe. Around paperwork, it won't go wrong.
So as you basically finish packing up and begin, getting ready to step out and in search of Master Raelith, almost as if, his name was heard, he winds up stepping into the chamber room. The half elf, still dressed in immaculate robes of black on black, the sash bound in white, the only thing making it visible on the robes. Do believe my ears are bleeding. Is there something that you needed my assistance with?
Aren't they supposed to be burning, not bleeding?
No, I prefer bloodshed over burning.
Oh, Speranza like totally starts to like place herself halfway behind Jesselyn.
And Jess is just like has been smiling this entire time, and that just makes the smile take a turn for the more amused. Well, we were wondering if you had actually been there.
To the graveyard.
Yes.
In fact, I have.
Oh.
I have not been to all of the vessels, but the specific of the graveyard, it is somewhat pertinent to, obviously, to my endeavors. So I wish to partake of it once, see what it might teach or say in this case.
Well, in that case, what are you allowed to tell us about what we should expect? I know it'll probably be different because something's definitely wrong, but...
So he winds up saying basically the same thing that I said to the Speranza.
Okay.
But as opposed to it coming off as ominous, it comes across as endearing, a loving quality to the whole scenario. When he talks about, if the undead seeking life, it brings it into their undead embrace, and you get to join them in this similar pursuits. You definitely get the almost a longing, as if to an extent that he wishes to kind of come with. Now, the lot of you, I do not believe, are completely prepared to step into a world littered with the shambling dead. And there's only then you notice that he's got a bag upon his back. And he pulls it off. Of course, the satchel is made of black. And he pulls out 5 masks. And they don't appear to be anything more than like a clay faceplate, but they seem to be stylized with a skull motif on the front. But it's clear as day that they fit to a close approximation for the 5 of you.
Does this allow us to walk among them without pinging them as being living?
For the lesser powered ones, as I said, those that shamble, your skeletons and your zombies, the ones easily persuaded. This will allow you to get to the mausoleum unperturbed. He looks over, at Joshua, the large tiefling, looks over at the even larger Loxodon. Not all of you seem adept at stealth, and even stealth is no guarantee way of getting past them. And since we all wish you to succeed, a couple of us had a hand in getting these done. You can activate them, and they will, of course, last for a day. It should get you more than enough time to get through, find a mausoleum that has an entryway. And then, if all goes well, you'll solve the issue and won't need to go back to the surface before you are able to make your way back here.
Was momentarily going to be offended about him thinking I'm not stealthy, and then I looked at my sheet. So I'm not offended.
For a moment, Joshua will like hold down the book that he was reading and look over at Avtok and just say, "How did he see me?"
Frag, I don't know if you've ever played a character that's stealth. At least
The
not
fact
against-
that you have to think this long answers the question, I think.
Mhm.
I've played characters proficient in stealth, but with disadvantage on all stealth rolls.
So I don't think you played a character in one of my games that's good at stealth. and that's your dice rolling habits aside, or curse, I should say.
Hey, for one of my portents, I rolled 2 digits on the D20.
Yes,
Just
this
saying.
is true.
Wow. Uh-huh. So, was there anything else? And he, looks across the group that's there, but again, treats Chess as if that's the one who is handling the conversation.
Do we happen to have anything that might help repel the dead? That could come in handy.
Like a
I love-
shovel?
I lift up my staff.
You said we didn't need shovels.
Well, I don't know. He seems to be the one who's actually been there.
You use magic.
They're
yeah?
a multi-purpose tool. You can dig and you can hack.
I'm more thinking something akin to what the divine casters might use, something that might turn them or cause them to be afraid of us, that sort of thing.
Not exactly my forte. We can look and see if there's anything in the storehouses, but
Perhaps a spare cleric somewhere.
you're a wizard,
just-
aren't you?
Just found this cleric just sitting around in the storehouse.
Well,
me
I
think
mean,
of-
I'm kind of cleric-like, but I don't have that one.
I'm sure it won't be too difficult to requisition some holy water before we go.
Holy water can be obtained. Something to be powered by the gods. It's not exactly what we tend to do here. And you can see he's not hiding the disdain on his face. And while most of what he's done, he tends to try to keep that vain profile that he's had. But the disdain for the divine is not hidden on his face, and it does show another side to this particular individual.
Chaz,
I
do you-
think-
oh, go ahead.
We've spent the past few days preparing as well as we possibly can, and we'll definitely do our best. We'll resolve this and be back before you know it.
I'm all over Twitter. I hope that this goes by much faster than the last one. But given that there will be no commoners to mingle with or goblins to negotiate with, might be a little bit more straightforward. I dare say it's one of the more aggressive locations, but I think that it should be faster despite its dangers.
And I will glance back at everyone who has not I'm not going to say contributed to the conversation because that sounds mean, but like the less mean version of that. Like has not spoken their piece yet. There we go.
Did you picture this going on the night before or the morning after we got there? Chess.
Are you talking about like this moment? Or
Yeah, is this moment happening before we rest or after we've gotten up in the morning?
I was imagining after we'd gotten up in the morning.
Okay.
This is, I imagine, at least day 2 here at.
Hey, there's the long rest button.
There was a long rest last session, so.
Okay, perfect.
Well, then, if there's nothing else, you have these masks. Don't put them on until you are at the graveyard or stepping through. Because once you have them on, the magic will last until it doesn't.
Okay.
Out of game, please tell me that doesn't rely on a die roll.
Oh no.
Yeah, roll a d20. That's how effective your mask is.
Yeah, it's the best roll I've made with it yet. I'm not telling you what it is, but it's the best roll yet.
Uh-huh.
And of course, you rolled well because it was a roll for nothing.
Exactly. Darn 16.
Oh man, you lied. I don't know if I can trust you anymore. Said you weren't going to tell us what it is.
I only told you.
Oh, okay. Very clearly, that was
He
directed
told
toward
two
me.
friends, and they told two friends, and so on and so on.
And of course, like
It
you're
was a
playing
16.
Of course, like when you're playing the telephone game, it got distorted with every repeat.
My D20 roll was a 61.
That's about right. Yep,
Impressive.
that's how the story went. And that's a natural crit.
Are we rolling actual dice or are we just fake rolling right now?
We're just fake ones.
I
All
rolled
right.
an actual dice.
Apparently, this stream is divulged into who wants to roll what die and see how it can be portrayed as something else.
Well,
So,
I am ready.
go ahead.
I am ready.
Quite likewise.
So, take as much time as you want, but you can get together all of the things. Take as many short or long rests as you need, and then when you are ready to depart, they give you yet another location that they can teleport you to, and another stone of returning that you can crack or smack to return back here once you've done the mission.
Right. Well, I'm ready.
So you all march into the circle, your bags packed, and then, like magic, the light in the chamber swirls as the rainbow of colors surrounds you as you are whisked away. As the landscape unfolds in this new place, just as you had previously heard, all light except for the moon and stars, which are not much at the moment, are the only light sources here. The wind whips across the landscape, unblocked by anything but worn stone of faded gravestones and the dead trees. It's almost a light howl as it moves across. You can see the skeletons and zombies. They're not droning in hordes. They're not countless, but it would take you quite a while to count that which you can see by the dim light of the moon around you. In the distance, you can see a handful of buildings, here, there, what have you, made of stone and of different types. But as your feet hit soil, the undead begin to move in your direction. Does anyone not don their mask?
As soon as the undead start shambling, I will quickly just jostle my mask on.
So there is no ties. It's no nothing to make it seem like, oh, this could fall off. It just adheres. It does not obstruct your vision in any way, shape, or form. As you look at each other, you can see each other as per normal, but there is just the faint outline of a skull, almost spectral, in front of each of you. You take a moment and examine your colleagues. Their entire visage takes over in a skeletal format, about the approximate size that they would be. The moment that the last of you places the mask upon your face, as opposed to the shambling undead traveling in a focused direction, all heading towards you. With haste, I would even say. They all tend to slow down and begin to go back to aimless wandering. And you are left to your own devices here upon the darkened landscape. No grass, no plants, nothing but dead trees, barren soil, and rocks that you would guess used to be gravestones, but been here for so long, there is no sign of any marking whatsoever, carving or magic, that would indicate who or what lay beneath the soil at your feet.
I imagine Joshua would have probably over-prepared for this whole journey, so I'm likely packing many of the different books that have all the ledgers of people buried in this graveyard, as well as, other things that I think we would need for a journey like this. Most of them mundane and probably useless. And of course, I've brought 2 shovels because we need the shovels.
Any of the names that you have for people that might be buried here, that might is a big part of it. It is all speculation. It has been hundreds of years since anyone has actually come here looking to settle or move on, and probably even longer ago than that. But you had heard stories, or there are stories about this particular place, that the landscape has been cursed. Numerous settlements of varying sizes had attempted to settle here over the ages. And for whatever reason, this spot seemed to be where the cemetery wound up being created. And for one reason or another, something befell those settlements. Something horrible. Each time, something worse. Plague, famine, war, insert every possible thing that you could think of has happened in this area. And so each settlement, each town, each city, each village, one by one, people died, people fled, people moved on, and everything left was either scavenged or worn away over time.
Jess, I think a lot of my research has kind of been wasted.
Maybe.
I do wonder if places can have names. We did a lot of research into the history of all of the terrible things. That might help us with something.
Well, towns have names, rivers have names, people give them to them, but I don't suspect that's what you mean.
Oh yes, no, those are calling names. I mean, its real name. That comes with time and experience.
And like as we're walking through, you notice that Chess is kind of like taking it in, right? Like as we're like walking, looking for the place where we would go underground in this place, she's like just soaking in the scenery.
Do you still have the bag for the council members?
I do.
Okay. I will grab out a piece of paper and jot a note down and then hand it to you and say, would you send this through, please?
I just plop it in without looking at who you're sending it to.
Ted, do you want me to
That's your
message you?
business.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's get into that moment as Chess is taking this in. As you have kind of begun to think about necromancy and your dealings with Master Raelith, you are now surrounded by undead, more than even you who are quite skilled with the blade would have any any real desire to go against that many foes, even against something so weak. This is a lot of undeath, and the fact that this place is known to be able to do nothing but breed more, and all it takes is for more life to be inserted here for that to happen. What is your takeaway? What is your thought patterns? Are you holding true to your path, or is this place a little too startling for you?
I'm looking at every one of these shambling corpses and wondering like what it was that brought them to this point. Like, these are the forgotten. These are like those that have been lost to the forces that be in this place, and like just tragedy after tragedy. And the fact that they like have some semblance of remnant going on here, like that is both very sad and very intriguing. I'm not freaked out. I'm not like really afraid at all. More like intrigued and a little bit pitying.
Okay. So which direction do you guys continue to head? Just picking the nearest building and heading towards it? Are you attempting to
We're searching for, I forgot what it is we're searching for.
Underground.
The directions that you were given, or the information you were given, is that there are a number of stone mausoleums within this particular place, and some of them have secret passages, hidden halls, whatever you want to call it, that can get you to the deep underground, which they referred as to the Elder Necromantic Halls, deep below the surface.
Can I use my knowledge as a dwarf
Sure.
to attempt to ascertain which of these mausoleums would be the most likely entranceway to an underground area?
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a history check.
Ready. Well, that's a 13 on the die with a +6, so 19.
So based on positioning, structural integrity, and given the added insight of the the particular element that you are looking for, there are several stone. Sorry, they're all stone. There are several white stone, several gray stone, and a couple that are more of an ebony stone. You would ascertain that the ones that are of the darker color stone to be more likely both on positioning as well as thematic intent.
Well, I know far be it from me to impose any sort of expertise, except in this particular case, it seems most applicable. This seems to be the most likely of the mausoleums that would lead to an underground lair. I am, of course, drawing on my vast experience as a dwarf of the hill people.
I will
Let's check it out then.
and I will don one of my shovels. This looks like a good place to start.
You're going to wear a shovel?
I mean, I guess I will draw one of my shovels. My bad. Yeah. I mean,
Equip.
I am
Ted
wearing
said
the
it
other one.
before
It's
I-
across
I'm
my
like, wait,
back.
did you say don the shovel?
I did. You know,
Just
can't
got cross
always be
shovels.
smart.
Cross shovels across the back.
I
would like
kind
to
of imagine that's how I'm
respectfully-
carrying them.
Respectfully, open the doors.
So you were expecting, some heavy weight. You were expecting, possibly it's been so long since these doors have moved. But these buildings are the only things that remain of any kind of semblance of, I don't know if humanity is the right word, but that people were here. Everything else is barren and destroyed, whereas these buildings are clearly man-made, people-made, what have you, and they don't appear stripped of, away by time, by weather, and the doors open easily, easier than a wooden door that is just kind of slightly stuck. It just a little bit of push and it opens without a problem, soundlessly, wordlessly. Inside, completely lightless. None of the moonlight or starlight crosses the threshold of this door, but it is open.
I know, I was just thinking that that's probably not a problem for me, and then I was going in my head through like who that would be a problem for in this party. Sorry.
As we're looking into the entrance of this mausoleum, I will look around at everyone and say, is this a bad time to mention that I'm a bit claustrophobic? I have dreadful nightmares of being buried alive.
Too soon.
Yes. Yes, this is absolutely the worst time to mention such a thing.
I promise you we will not leave you down here.
I have my shovels.
Plus, there's no chance of being buried alive. The buried don't stay buried here.
That's fair.
Joshua does not look comforted by that fact at all.
But it's true.
I have my shovels.
Keep them close.
See, aren't you glad I mentioned about shovels?
All right, I've got to do it. I'm imagining this conversation is happening right outside the doorway to this mausoleum.
Yep.
Rounding the corner, you see a zombie, most of its flesh gone, and you hear it before you see it, as just a little bit of scraping, as the remnants of a rusty shovel are dragged across the ground as it just continues walking in a direction, not heading towards you in any way, shape, or form.
Oh no. I'll just clutch my shovel closer and then look down at it doubtfully.
But you know what? Because I'm tormenting you, Asa, you can have an extra inspiration for that one.
Yay! I get
Dave
inspiration for
Matthews.
being teased.
Dave Matthews Gravedigger plays softly in the background.
Mhm.
I'm specifically going to use one of these inspiration on a die roll that I make with my shovel.
Okay. So at
right.
about this time, it's been about a half hour since Joshua scrawled a quick note and put it in the bag. And you know that the bag gets a little bit warm when another note has gone through. That's how you know to check. And there is a response.
All right. I will quickly check the note to make sure that it's not from like somebody I would be communicating with before I pass it to Joshua.
The note just says Joshua on it.
Cool.
Joshua, you open it up and it is a single word. What languages do you typically communicate to?
Infernal.
All right, so in Infernal, it just says yes.
Well, that wasn't very helpful.
So is
We'll
there
just
a way
mutter that to
down
ourselves.
in this room?
As you step into the room, I imagine one of you draws forth something to create
Oh.
light.
Dancing lights?
And as you do so, there are, it's not a large mausoleum, but there are 2 sets of paired coffins with just a little bit of space in between. So one stacked on top of each other, buried within the walls. No nameplates, no adornments. As you examine further, it does appear that there used to be nameplates. They have been pried up, pulled out, what have you. You can see the faint scratching of some tool and the spot where there were holes drilled into the stone. Who resides here? That's now a mystery.
Ordo.
Yes.
If there were a secret staircase, you would be the most likely to be able to tell where it was.
Well, of course, that goes without saying. My dwarven stone cunning tells me every such thing. And I'm
Which
going
is
to
precisely why I'm asking.
I'm going to pretend to very knowledgeably examine while I don't know if you want me to make a roll or just make a guess. If there's any way that I can actually tell.
So do you have investigate?
Let's see. I do not. I'm not trained in investigation.
Okay. So you can either make a investigation check regular and add your proficiency because of your dwarven stone cunning, or you can roll it without proficiency at advantage. I will give you the choice.
I will use the stone cunning, and I'm actually going to add to the fact that it just looks like I know what I'm doing. I reach into my beard, and I'm actually going to pull out my wand as I begin to tap along the stone and the sarcophagi, and I will roll. Feels dwarven. That is going to be another 19. As I begin to...
So the space in between the coffins on the wall, you find a spot that there doesn't, like, even though it looks like there's stone there, your hand passes through. And as you initially, you kind of freak out, it's like, oh, well, what is this? But you search around and you can find a button, something that you can actually press in.
Ah, yes. Of course. This makes the most sense as I press the button.
The entire area where you press in just kind of collapses in on itself. Doesn't do so with any kind of loud grinding. It's almost as if it just melts backwards, and the stone moving, it just seems weird. And as you see the light kind of fill in the space that's there, there is now a vertical tunnel leading down. No staircase, no handholds, just this.
Like a shaft?
Yep.
Oh. Well. I have a spider climb. I could go down and check it out before we commit.
We could also cast a familiar and send it down to
That's
check things
absolutely
out.
fair and probably smarter.
Want to have a flying familiar?
We could. It would take an hour, but it could happen.
These masks are on a cooldown.
So we don't have the time.
Well, you were informed that the masks were there to guide you to the mausoleum that would open. If you think this is the answer, then you're good. But if you don't think it is, then you would be correct that you'd have to then go back out through where there are undead, including those with shovels now.
Well,
Just
my own
digging deeper.
goblin definitely doesn't fly, so and I don't really want to wait an hour. Does anybody actually like have something prepared currently?
He doesn't
'Cause-
fly, but I bet you he falls with style.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna climb down.
Yeah, my find familiar is not prepared, so it is on the hour and 10-minute cast time.
All right, I'm gonna cast spider climb and just go down the hole.
I am going to begin to cast the ritual, but you'll probably be back before I'm done.
How long does spider climb work, and then what kind of climb speed do you get with that?
Let me Google that.
While you're doing that, I will ask you for the bag, so that I can do notes while you're gone.
It is concentration up to an hour, and I will pass it over to you. Oh, it is not self, it is range touch. So I can get other people with this as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and scout real fast and then come back. Target gains a climbing speed equal to its walking speed.
Okay. And you are 30 feet, not revised, right?
Yep.
All right. So you travel for a while. How long are you willing to travel without without anything going on?
Well, it's concentration up to an hour, so I'm gonna say about half an hour so that I can get back up if I have to.
No, it doesn't take quite that long. So after about 10 minutes, without hearing a sound, without seeing anything going on, you eventually, your hand reaches through. There's no light down here either. But your hand kind of moves away from what you were climbing through this tunnel, and you kind of like loop around to the ceiling as you open into a larger space.
Okay. So is it like dark enough that dark vision isn't helping me down here?
Correct.
Okay. Can I stay attached to the ceiling and cast dancing lights like with my free hand?
Dancing lights is not concentration, so yeah.
No. I'm just like wondering because I'm gonna have to keep one hand on the wall.
Sure.
Okay. So I will cast dancing lights to see what's down here.
So as you cast this, the entire area lights up, and just as the black stone above is black stone below, the obsidian lava rock style, everything down here is built larger than what you would expect for human or elven proportions, I should say. Everything is made beautifully. Nothing down here seems to have had any exposure to the elements. There are various tunnels, hallways, every so often a finely decorated pillar, couple rooms here, there. That's what you can see from where you are.
All right, I'm gonna head back up. I will explain what I just saw. That is probably going to be it. Do we want to set us up a rope?
I have a rope.
I do too. I've prepared with several, and I'm like cluttering through all the things I'm carrying and like dropping books, and somewhere there's rope on me.
Speranza's like picking things up as they get closer to the ground because she's like,
Oh, fine. Yep. Okay.
Didn't one of us have a bag of holding? I feel like I made a grave error. My bad use of words.
So, tie these together and shimmy down the rope.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
If what you were hinting at, Joshua, is the fact that you were carrying too much crap, Havtalk can put some in his bag and hold it.
Do you in fact have a bag of holding?
No, but I probably have the highest strength out of all of us.
Oh,
so,
probably. I mean, well, I don't know. What is your strength?
It's only 14, but
Oh, that's higher than mine. I got 12.
Strength is my dumb stat.
I mean, typically for a wizard, it would be. Wisdom is mine, though, so that's probably why I brought all this shit.
my dumb stats are Dex and Charisma. Because I have to have 2.
Fair enough.
Why should a wizard have dexterity?
All right, so if Avtalk can manage to make it down the rope, then the rest of us are fine.
Havtalk jumps. No, I'm just kidding.
Superhero landing.
Did we say what the actual distance was?
Nope.
I was climbing down for about 10 minutes and my speed was 30 feet. I wasn't dashing, so
Oh,
Math.
30%.
That's a long ways. That's a splat when Avtalk hits
Yeah,
the bottom.
that's a really long ways. That feels like that's longer than ropes
That's,
we
that's,
have.
20, that's longer than.
TLDR, do not jump that.
I
But Joshua wants me to wear a red shirt.
I almost took.
Oh,
That
wait.
shirt is for me.
Before you go, and she'll turn to have talk. I can make it so it might be a little bit, like a couple little bits of weight are lifted off your shoulders, so to speak.
Okay.
so she'll do adjust density on him.
What does that do to me?
Basically it will, you're definitely larger than I am. So your weight is halved, or I can double it.
Yeah, let's
assuming
not
you
do
want
that.
it
That's a
halved in this case. So weight is halved for, well, up for a minute or until concentration ends. And your speed increases by 10 feet and you can jump twice as far as normal.
So I weigh just under 200 pounds.
Did Avtalk give me his real name when I was asking for names?
He gave you the name Avtalk.
Okay.
I will let you discern if that's his real name or not yourself.
Well, so I'll figure this out real quick because I'm going to cast Bless on you. And if it's not your real name, it's going to cost me a spell slot. If it is your real name, it won't.
Sorry, dude.
It'll cost me a spell slot. Done and done. I suddenly feel like I've used more power than I intended to. Oh, well, you'll be fine. Here's some help.
Who else got blessed, though, or is it just me?
I guess technically it would be I can pick up to 6 players or 6 characters.
6?
Is it 6? I think it's
I
6.
thought it was 3.
Fuck all, I don't know. I don't have it in front of me.
It's 3 at its initial level.
Okay, hold on. I do cast it at its initial level. Okay, so I mean, Chess can be another person who very clearly didn't give me her true name. And I don't know. I think I need the blessing because I'm a little worried about life with my shovel. So I'm gonna take the third one. And I know my true name, but it doesn't matter because if I don't know the true name of one person, it still costs me a spell slot.
Nice.
So I will hand wave the rope angle. We'll say you had a lot, and what you have covers the distance.
Well, if each of us have 2 ropes, then we definitely have enough. Because they come in increments of 50 feet, and I'm pretty sure that was 600.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
How many checks is this going to take me to not die?
Well, Chess was not attacked by anything on the way down, and just climbing down a rope should be fine, right?
Everybody takes 10.
Yeah, because that's a thing in 5th edition, isn't it?
No. No, I'm just old.
Your 3rd edition is showing. I don't know if it was in 4th. I didn't play that one.
Yeah, with, taking 10 and taking 20 are a 3rd edition term. So as you get about halfway down, I don't know if Joshua's still carrying the bag, but it heats up with another message, which I have sent you a much lengthier reply than the single word.
I see it.
Right. I continue to spider climb for the trip down again because I already have it casted. I'm still concentrating on it, and I don't want to waste the spell slot. So,
Sure. And you know what? You can't fall if you're stuck to the wall.
Did you say this happens as we're all climbing down, or as Avtalk is?
As you guys are climbing down.
Okay, I'll stop in the climbing and take the note out and read it, and then go, well, that's not terribly helpful, and then put it back or put it away.
Are you seriously stopping to read a note while we're climbing?
Are you hanging on by your beard? Like I just suddenly have this picture of you just like your feet wrapped around the rope and your beard holding you up and your hands are just free.
Hands on hips in a disapproving
right,
posture.
very much so.
Fireman sliding down the rope.
While we were figuring out how we were going to get down, I was looking through everything that I had to my ability to see if I had a way that I could use the beard to like spider
like
climb down, but I don't have that yet.
Oh my god, your beard just sprawls out in like legs and starts carrying you down.
That's why I was watching chess. I'm like, okay, I need to take spider climb.
That's terrifying.
Need to prepare that
I
one.
love it.
That nightmare fuel for sure.
This well-dressed dwarf just climbing everywhere with like 8 threads of beard. Just
That's so good.
Oh my god.
No, if you so strongly disapprove of the person beneath you climbing slowly, you should pass gas.
But then it doesn't
Didn't have
rise.
that
absolutely
spell prepared.
undignified.
Tackling
my
all the way
lord.
down.
Well, what was the sheer character that walked around on her hair? Like, there's all kinds of beardomancy stuff like that. So
Oh, yeah, the tech one. I forget her name.
Intrapta?
Yes. I love her.
So, like that's the kind of stuff that we like. It's like, yeah, do more of that stuff. So despite all of your fears of like, am I gonna have to make rolls, you don't. You guys all descend and fall out of this hole and see the same thing once more light is summoned that Chess was able to describe to you.
Onward.
But onward where? There's tunnels in several different directions. There are several rooms.
That way.
It's fairly dark in here, right?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, then I can't see anything.
Did anybody cast light?
I cast dancing lights.
Okay.
I will continue to cast dancing lights. I'm gonna get a
You will
piece of
continue
chalk
to be the most useful person in this party.
out of my bag and like make an arrow in the direction that we're going and then walk that way a la the labyrinth, and hopefully nothing changes my marks.
Does anyone have
All
a
of the labyrinth.
does anyone have
From-
does anyone have a passive perception 15 or higher?
I have a passive perception of 9. Is that
Ima-
close?
Say
Imagine
passion
one of us
perception?
taking perception.
I almost did. I do have a passion perception as well, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, my passive is 10.
So far, mine's the best at 11. Ah,
Wait, B, you have a character that doesn't have an ungodly
I
passive? This is a first.
what's yours,
like-
Jake?
12.
Hers is ungodly compared to all of ours. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
It was nice knowing you guys.
Wasn't my total barbarian the most perceptive in our last one too?
I think you had the highest wisdom in our last one.
Yeah.
The barbarian was the wisest of everybody.
Oh my god.
I've played in a game where the barbarian was the most intelligent in the party and thus the party leader. So
I think
nothing would surprise me these days. So
I had 3 dumb stats with my last character.
I've played that character too.
I typically run wisdom high characters, but this is the chaos crew. I have to have a person who's going to make poor choices.
Sure, I love it. All right, so who wound up with the highest?
B.
Not me.
Yeah, I think B you were what, 13?
13, yeah.
And this is why the red shirt goes to me.
Speranza will pat you and like cast light at the same time. It's okay.
So Speranza, as you're walking, I imagine you're in the middle of the party. You know,
Mhm.
you keep hearing faint whispering, not anything that sounds intelligible. You think you hear words or portions of words, but you don't see anyone, you don't hear anyone, you don't get any kind of message. It's getting a little bit frustrating. Like almost like you want to know what's being said, but there's nothing that's actually being heard to kind of get any more of this. Not even a full sentence.
Well, that's aggravating. You're not hearing this?
Hearing what? I'm very clearly reading like a book, trying to figure out more
Well,
about
it's
this
like-
location.
It's kind of like when you're in a really crowded room, you can hear like all these little conversations happening off here, there, and everywhere, but you can't get what the gist of them there. It's, like maybe you catch a word here and there, but it's like that, but like whispering, like whispering words, like you can't hear it out loud and clear.
You should tell them to be quiet. It's very rude. I'm trying to read.
You hear
them
that?
anyway.
I don't know if they can hear us, to be honest.
Let's see. Understanding places, histories more. There's nothing new here. I'm gonna slam this book shut in frustration and just shove it somewhere.
Joshua,
Yes.
tunnels echo.
I'll be quieter.
Thank you.
Avtok, Joshua, and Ordo. You begin to hear much louder than what Speranza was saying. These whispers. You aren't like you're hearing something, but nothing is. No thoughts are communicating. I need all of you to go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
Do we still have the
All of
bless?
us, or just the ones
Alright.
that hear the thing?
Just those 3 characters.
Okay.
I rolled a 15.
Okay.
The highest wisdom roll I'll ever make, I'm sure.
Is bless still active for Joshua's
Oh.
thing or no?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it should still be up.
Oh, natural
All right,
20.
you ready for this? 25.
Wait, was I supposed to
Dang.
roll?
Yes.
Okay.
So I guess it's a 17 with
I got a natural 20, which makes my save a 24.
All right.
news, everyone.
So you're all frustrated that you're hearing something without actually getting any kind of message. Agitation's getting a little higher. What do you guys do? Do you keep walking?
You know what? Those voices, I hear them now. They won't be quiet. I'm trying to whisper. Hold on. Actually, I'm keeping my voice fairly low as I rumble to myself.
Okay.
But I'm definitely getting frustrated, and I'm almost ready to like yell about it. And it doesn't help that I'm surrounded in dark and like enclosed spaces underground. I'm clutching my shovel very close, as though this is the only thing I have that will save my life.
I just do this.
That'll work.
Cannot imagine why you guys are having this issue. I can't hear anything.
I mean,
Maybe
Don't
you
show
should open your ears a
lucky.
little more.
Oh,
I'm sorry. That
It
was
is very clearly annoying you, so I'm not sure I want to hear anything.
A few seconds later, the other ear, you begin to hear, and it's darker. There's almost a little bit of malice to it. You don't really hear a message. This time you're feeling some intent. So Ordo, Speranza, and Avtok, I need a wisdom saving throw.
There's no way I'm rolling good at second time.
you just said Ordo and Avtok, right?
Ordo,
And
Avtok, and Speranza.
I got
Okay.
a 9.
15.
11.
9 for Speranza, an 11 for Ordo, and what did you have, Avtok?
15.
15. All right.
Thanks to Bless.
Get the right die here, please.
I can still hear y'all.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, so Speranza and Ordo, you take 7 points of psychic damage. But you must make a melee attack against someone within range. So I know that Speranza had said that she was in the middle.
She was. Oh, that was later. But yeah, you're picking up the things that I was dropping, so you're near me.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm okay with being swung
Alright.
at too.
Hit me with your tiny little fists.
You know,
Yeah.
I think I was already irritated at Joshua for holding me up on the rope.
Oh no.
So I've got my staff that I'm walking with,
Uh-huh.
and when this hits, and without even thinking, I'm just gonna grab my staff with 2 hands and just whack.
Sure.
Okay.
That's gonna be a 12 to hit.
Well, I have not cast mage armor, so that will hit me.
This would count as a surprise attack. He was not expecting it, so you would have advantage on the roll.
Ooh, okay, I thought
Extra 20.
I almost crit. No, it's a 15 now. So and because I did take it with
Still hits.
take 2 hands, that's going to be a D8. Oh, okay. I rolled a 1 on damage, and my damage bonus is 0. So, it's a delicate, just a knock.
Love tap.
My staff has at the top of it, it's not in color, but it's a carved like barber's pole, and there's like a fist holding a pair of shears and a comb, and it's just this fist that just knocks on the back of your skull. Just
You're attacking me from behind.
apparently.
Like I don't see it coming,
Yeah.
and it's all right. So my initial response is to go "Ah!" and turn and smack you with my shovel. Which I'm going to use my inspiration for. As I said I would, which, I didn't actually need to because my first roll was a 15 and my second roll was a 1. But yeah, that's a 15. I'm not proficient in it. It is a strength weapon, so it's a total of 16 to hit you.
Even with my mage armor up and my beard girding, that beats my AC.
Okay, I believe because it's an improvised weapon, it's just my strength modifier, or is it a D4 with my strength modifier?
I would say, we'll go with the D4.
Okay.
Yeah, usually unarmed is just your modifier.
Are you hitting him with the flat, or are you slashing it at him?
I'm hitting him with the flat. It's just boom. I did 4 points of damage to you with my shovel.
I'm treating it like it's a club.
This is we just went straight up Three Stooges down here.
Sure.
And then I'll realizing who I hit, just be like, I'm so sorry. Wait, what was that for?
What was what for? Why did you hit me?
Why did you hit me?
I didn't hit you.
You did.
Right now, stop talking. What are you doing?
So
he hit me with a shovel.
He hit me with his stick.
Who are you swinging at?
Avtalk. Except she yelps more like she gets startled.
The mouse and the
because
elephant.
of their funny, like, make him stop. But she got a 9.
Okay.
With advantage?
Yes.
I imagine it would like hit me in the shin, and I just look down at it.
Make him stop.
His turnaround. It seems more like you're tapping him to be like, look what they're doing.
This is neither the time nor the place.
So while this nonsense is actually going on, you get a sense of something coming out of the walls. The closest approximation you could have would be like wisps of blackness and shadows, blacks and grays that are almost look like it's trying to be a person, but every edge trails off. As if it's trying to get away from even itself.
Oh hell, this isn't blood. I read a book once where there was blood coming out of walls. I don't like it.
So why don't everybody go ahead and roll initiative for me?
Okay.
Righty.
Does still go in a minute, or is blessed?
Damn, Jake.
Better.
What a voice.
That's tactical saving throws anyway. It doesn't matter.
Nothing. We're good. I was just complimenting you.
What did I say?
Just the way you said something, I guess. Appeals to his...
Sometimes I talk and don't realize. I just said, "Oh, righty."
It was the way you said it. Yeah.
Yes. All right.
It got me a little Twitter-pated. That's all.
Little heated.
Oh my!
Got the vapors.
Where is my that's why I can't find it. I'm like, where's my initiative bonus? It's
being that I'm a
0.
tiefling. Yeah, a little bit of steam is coming off me.
Okay. I have no initiative bonus, so whoops, that's not right.
Holy moly!
Oh, jeez.
What did you do?
Well,
I'm just typing a bunch of 3 digits.
Really?
13.
313.
Yeah, just so you all know, Jake rolled 123 and 313 for initiative, so I think he's going first.
Sorry, I was playing 4th edition.
Oh my god.
Esperanza?
21.
20.
Oh man, I thought I did so well with my 18, which was natural because I have no dex.
Same.
All right, Esperanza, you are up first.
Okay. Oh geez, and this thing is.
Looks
You
to
said
be
it's
about
not.
Looks to be about 40 feet away from you, coming out of the walls. Looks very incorporeal. Like it looks like it's trying to take on the semblance of a humanoid visage, but failing miserably.
Oh geez.
And those whispers that some of you were hearing, all of you hear, intensified as it kind of fully manifests around you guys.
It's almost like, again, like she's panicking, like how she just hit Avtalk, but this time she's gonna like zap a witch bolt at it and just yelp and be like, "What do you want?" and just like fire away is
Sure.
what I'm gonna do. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Sorry, it helps to have the right window open. So that is going to be. I also need. There we go. All right, so then that is going to be a 13 to hit.
It hits.
Oh, it does?
It
I
does.
thought that was going to whiff. Then that is going to be 9 lightning.
9
damage.
lightning.
Yeah.
You see, as some of the lightning, hits it, you see it kind of spark into it and dance throughout this incorporeal form, and you watch, some of the tendrils that bleed off from it, like take the lightning and just kind of vanish away. So it looks a little bit less than it was before. Next up is Joshua.
So for my free action interact with object, I'm going to screech and chuck my shovel in its direction.
Okay.
It's going to clatter helplessly to the floor near the creature, not even close, because I'm not using it as an attack roll.
Sure.
But then I'm going to cast Mage Armor like at the same time, because that was going to be my initial response to getting smacked by Ordo. And then I will move away from it, a few steps away from it, and just be like, "What in the hells is that?" And cower helplessly for a bonus action.
Cower helplessly as a bonus action. Now, is that
It's yeah, I can show you real quick. In Onomancer, it's a thing.
So the
It's part of my phobia. We got this
Sure,
covered.
Absolutely. So the creature begins to glide forward, covering most of the distance, but between the lot of you. And as it does so, the whispering, the little noodling into your ear that you were hearing intensifies and gets louder and gets louder until it's not a whisper, until it's not even just normal conversation. And then all at once, your ears just begin to bleed as this thing howls in fury and pain. I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
I can hear it now.
You can hear it now.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Bless is bless concentration? I should look this up.
Yes,
Bless
it is.
concentration, yes.
Awesome.
So I have a 13 that I can replace a roll with. I'm going to do that now, and that will make my saving throw 16 total.
Okay.
14.
Okay.
10.
21.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Thanks for
All right. So everyone but Ordo seems to shake off some of this psychic assault. It's a total of 13 points of damage.
Ooh.
So halved, it's going to be 6 for most of the party. Ordo, you take 13 points of damage and are stunned.
Oh.
Oh my.
Chess, you are up.
The chess is pissed. Like this entirely dark visage has come over her, and she's gonna like look at these like tendrils and shake her head, and she's going to be like, "When I want your opinion, I'll ask your entrails. Use a bonus action to activate Blade Song and make an attack."
Sure.
Um,
You understand incorporeal creatures don't have entrails, right?
it sounded cool, shush. 17 to hit.
17 hits.
And
just because I gotta ask, your sword, is it magical or not magical?
it is my casting focus. It is one of the things that we got in the first session.
Yep. So So that would be magical.
So that will be 6 damage.
Okay. You slash into it, and you watch as you cut through some of these wispy tendrils, and just as the lightning hit it, there seems to be slightly less of this thing than there was before, but it is still there. Ordo, you manage to, stand there, come to your senses, and shake off whatever this thing did. As at the end of your turn, you are no longer stunned.
Just sounding like I'm trying to cast a spell or get control, and it's just gibberish coming out. But after a moment, just
Avtok,
I'm next. I thought I was last.
you are last.
Oh, I didn't
For
hear you
next
go.
and last.
I was stunned, so I didn't get to go.
All right, how many of these are within a 20-foot cube?
There is a single creature.
Oh, it's just for some reason I thought we each had one.
All one of these is within the
Yeah,
cube.
all one of them can fit in a 20-foot cube.
All right, well then I'm just gonna walk up and touch it then. With
What's
shocking
this
grasp.
black shadow thing? I'm going to find out.
What does shadow feel like?
16.
16 hits.
All right. Where's my D8 right there? 4, 12. So 12 lightning damage, and then I'm going to run away from it.
All right. So for starters, it's a touch attack to hit this thing,
Yes.
and you willingly walked over and touched this thing.
I didn't say I was smart.
Okay.
Remember, he has 2 dumb stats.
Yeah.
I was trying to make friends. My dump of charisma did not help me.
Give me a hug.
As you deliver your lightning damage, which I will get from you in a second, you take 12 points of psychic.
All right.
And what was that lightning damage?
It was also 12.
Also 12.
But he doesn't have reactions as I run away.
Okay. We are back to Speranza.
And then I will also say, don't touch it, it hurts.
I didn't want to touch it. I had no plans to touch it. And then you went and touched it. And now I think I'm going to need to do something else here, looking at how everyone's looking. And she's going to, she almost like stomps her heel. She's indignant about this. So she is going to bonus action cast Mass Healing Word.
Wow.
Fun little thing about that healing mark, which is a D4 plus 4. I know it's not much, but hey, it's something for our squishy crew. So that's 6. Everyone gets 6.
The healer's plight. You have a planned action, and everybody gets hurt. Like, dang it, now I gotta heal them.
In there.
You should learn to let them suffer for their stupidity.
And then she's gonna ready an action and just sort of like hold the quarterstaff that she whiffed against Avtog, but like try to hold it all like menacingly, and like she's small and frizzy haired and growling at this point.
Are you still holding your witch bolt?
No.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that was going. I forgot I had the witch bolt. So does that go now?
So you
Can I do that with the
action to do damage with it? Yes.
Oh, I can't. Okay, so let me do that then. I forgot about that one. Okay, that is a. Why can't Matt? That's a 26 to hit.
You don't have to roll the
No,
hit.
you don't have to.
Oh, I don't have to
you don't
roll.
hit it.
Oh, that's just the straight up damage.
It's
I really
just lightning. You just hold it, and once you've hit, with it,
Cool.
just keep doing it.
And that's 5.
5 damage.
Does the lightning seem to be effective?
It's
Was
burning
before.
it. It's hard to tell because this thing is incorporeal. It's not reacting, it's just diminishing.
Okay.
Every
God, I was
time
thinking of
that you
magical
guys have given damage, it's gotten some of these wispy tendrils diminished off of it. Joshua.
All right. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is start to kind of regain my composure a little bit and kind of squint at the shadow and say, what are you? And as I'm staring at it, I'm going to compel it to show me its true name. So it's a bonus action. It needs to make a wisdom saving throw of my focus being at a +1 is +1 to spell attack rolls and +1 and increases my DC by 1, right?
Yep.
Okay, so it needs to make a DC 16.
Now, what is the effect of that?
It is charmed by me until the end of my next turn, and I know its true name, which I can then use for other things.
So as you attempt to compel this thing, sadly, you realize that this has no effect on this creature. But as you are attempting to ascertain its nature and grab its attention, I need you to go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Interesting. I naturally critted that.
All right.
That is a 20.
So
22, but yeah.
You felt its response, but you were able to shake it off without a problem.
Interesting. All right. That'll be like an aha moment of apparently undead creatures no longer have true names? ? In which case, I am then going to grasp my glass staff off of my belt or wherever I'm keeping it and hold it in both hands and cast a spell under its feet. And I'm going to do create bonfire. So I'm going to just start creating flames underneath this the shadow. And that's going to be all I do.
Okay, is that a saving throw?
On its turn, if it starts its turn or ends its movement or moves through the bonfire, it needs to make a dexterity saving throw of 16 or take 2d8 fire damage.
It has passed the save.
Okay. It is a cantrip, so it does nothing.
Okay. All right. So it moves out of the fire. And what you were not expecting as you forced it to make a move, it actually steps into you or into the square that you are in, Chess.
Okay.
So I need you to go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw.
That is going to be 13.
It's not going to do it.
Fair enough.
Oh, this was much meaner to you than it was to have.
Oh, good.
So that is 18 points of damage.
Okay.
It's only 5 meter.
I am bleeding.
And then, let's see here. So then I need a wisdom save from Ordo, Avtok, and Joshua.
See if I can do this again.
10 again.
Oh, fuck me, I did! That's a second, natural 20 on my wisdom save.
I rolled a 10 on my
17.
wisdom save. Well, I rolled a 4. And then I threw the die aside and it landed on a nat 20. It's actually an 8 that I rolled, not a 10.
17 for Aptok.
All right. So what did you get, Ordo?
8.
8?
You know what? Hold up. I'm using that inspiration.
All right.
Isn't that 20?
20. Dirty.
All right. So you again, you heard its whispers, but you
Not this time, pal.
plug away and ignore that which is going on. Chess, you are up.
Okay. I'm gonna hold my rapier straight in front of me for a moment, focus, and cast magic missile for 11.
Are you stepping out of the creature?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, step back. Back straight, one hand behind my back. You know, the posture. You know the one I'm talking about.
11 damage, huh?
Yeah.
Did not like that. You see a considerable amount of the creature is blasted away, as opposed to like wisps and tendrils.
And I'm like standing here bleeding profusely and still like just looking angry.
Was that 3 bolts or 4?
That was 3. Don't I only get 3?
Well, I don't know if you upcasted.
Oh no, I did not upcast
But
it.
you blast 3 holes into the creature. The tendrils that are kind of going off from its exterior kind of like fill in the gap. But again, you know, the thing is still there, but it is much smaller. I would dare say that it's probably down to a small size now as opposed to medium. And then after chess is Ordo. Would you like to actually take part in this fight there, Ordo?
Ordo is already been beginning to, coming out of being stunned, the words he was trying to form finally make their way to his lips as he says, Venitatis jealous in metus. And you see from out of his beard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 glowing sets of barber shears emerge, rise into the air, and as I cast 3rd level magic missile at our 20 points of damage. I already had my D20 or D4s in hand when you said you were casting magic missile, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna throw a total of 8 magic missiles into this.
So as your golden barber shears fly into this thing, as they hit, the impact and one by one blast every little last bit of this thing into oblivion. And all of you, hear this whisper, 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 whisper trail off into absolute silence as the thing is no more.
Okay, that was downright aggravating. Chess, you look terrible.
And she walks right over to Chess and kind of like pats Chess's hip and cure wounds.
Thank you.
Which, oh, sweet. So that was a full 8 plus 3. So that is 11.
I've received a gift. It is bloody and possibly merry. I'm
Didn't
pretty
think
excited.
that we were going to have to deal with long-winded gas clouds anyway. I'm like dusting imaginary dust off of myself.
You didn't think you'd have to deal with long-winded gas clouds, but Josh was here.
Which NPC is saying this? Huh? Huh, Ted? Huh? Do I
Hear
get
those
another
voices
inspiration
again?
for being
They're
teased?
speaking more
The
clearly, though.
Nope. That is just Ted being rude.
That's just Ted being mean. It's okay.
I love my players, and that's why I tease them.
Yeah, I know. And I take it quite well.
Ordo's just standing there in the aftermath. He's got a comb out and is putting his hair and beard back into place, lest he appear disheveled.
As I see Ordo doing his beard, I look down and go, oh crap! And try to. Oh, that's right.
I was of no help at all. And I'll go pick up my shovel.
How the rest of y'all feeling?
I think that shadow fart was what was messing with people's heads. Ordo, I feel like I owe you an apology. And Chess, it's not my intention to waste our time. Just It's very dark and confined in here, and I don't care for that. We
And
should probably
I
hurry along.
owe both of you an apology as well. You were under a compulsion.
I should have been more sensitive to the nature of your claustrophobia.
I don't think Joshua realizes that he wasn't under a compulsion when he attacked Ordo back.
I make
Like-
no apologies. I do the healing and the hurting.
Whatever the
think-
case, I have a splitting headache.
And we appreciate you for that, Speranza.
Well, we've got quite a distance to go, I'm sure. Are we good to continue?
I'm
If
good.
you could spare a little bit more of that magical healing, might ease this headache of mine.
I can do a little bit more, sure.
So she'll
Well,
do
you can
a
also attempt to, set up a watch
do
and
a
get
short-
to a rest.
short rest it. Do you
I'm
want a short
sorry.
rest?
We're short resting?
I was throwing that option out there. I mean, at the moment, there do not appear to be any threats.
I do believe that is the worst idea in Joshua's mentality. Even though it, as a player, like it's the right call. As a character, he wants to get the fuck through this pretty quick.
I think, just whispering to Speranza, perhaps a bit of the magical healing. I don't think Joshua could stand to stay in place much longer.
Am I wrong, or did
We
we
need
have
to get
That's
him
no
to
problem.
open
Potions.
space.
You
Yeah,
guys
just,
should have potions
sit
as
still
well.
for a second, darling.
Hold on, V.
Hold on.
I was gonna say we have potions too, don't we?
Do we?
I thought there was like a bandolier or something.
Yeah, I've talked
Unless
about
that's a
them all
totally
the
different
time.
game
I
and
forgot
I'm
about the
losing my
bandolier.
mind.
Yeah, so she'll pull out her little. Yeah, I forgot. That's the one. It's the one healing potion thing.
Yeah.
Where's my
Um,
inventory? What do I have on me? Do I have potions too? No. I don't.
Meanwhile, Chess looks really eager to get going, but we'll stop and rest if you guys want to stop and rest.
I'm fine
No,
to
no,
keep
I
going.
think we should move.
I just need something for this headache.
There might be more shadows coming through the walls, and I look. I've read a lot of books in my life, and there is this one author. He was some kind of king, and he wrote many weird stories that scared me as a child. And I don't like dark places anymore. We should probably move, please. Thank you.
Okay, so it's a healing potion that Speranza will hand over to Ordo.
Just a regular 2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2, yeah.
Okay,
There's
that's
one more of
7.
those.
That's better. I was like half hit points.
Oh, jeez.
Even make
I'm
it
better
happen.
off now.
Yeah, that thing hit real hard.
It
Yes.
did.
Yes, it did. That does take the edge off a bit. Yes. Let us keep moving.
You know what
need to
else
flash
would
back for
take
later.
the edge off a bit? And I'm gonna rustle into my jacket and pull out a flask and just take a drink.
Sigh.
Anyone else, please? Maybe.
Avtok takes a drink.
Chess keeps moving.
So as you guys begin to head down this corridor, it winds up making a left. And
Fortuitous.
As it would.
because that's what you guys do. You always go left.
At this point, Ted's like, I'm not even giving you choices. Every direction is left.
We
Uh,
the
you
illusion
wind
of
up-
choice.
You wind up seeing adornments, decorations, sigils. You can stop and take a look if you so desire, but the initial languages aren't anything that any of you know. Do you stop and try to examine further, or do you keep going?
Oh, I think it would be smart to stop and examine further.
I believe. Did I prepare comprehend languages? I thought I did for this very thing.
I will use my order
I
scribes
did.
thing And you did
I did comprehend languages.
Okay.
I didn't prepare it, but I have it as a ritual.
I have it for ritual too. So if we want to take an hour to figure it out,
It would only be 10 minutes because it's an action plus 10 minutes for comprehend languages.
So as you,
I will cast it as an action.
Oh, good.
so as you begin to examine these, you happen to notice that this is the first time that the walls of this place have had adornments, that there are similarities, likenesses, if you will, to the mausoleum up above. And as Avtok begins casting his spell to try and see what exactly is written here, things, spectral creatures, 5 of them to be exact, come out of the walls, one physically entering into each of you. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Right.
hells.
Just so I can think
Excuse
about
me,
it
you
all
need
month.
to ask first.
Are we all within
least
20
buy me
feet of each
dinner.
other?
That is entirely up to you guys.
No reason.
So, tune in next time to find out exactly what transpired there. The players will learn a little bit more so that they won't have to be quite as worried. But all of you out there in, happy internet land, you'll have to wait and see as to what happens on session 8 of Untraditionally Arcane. As always, I urge you all, viewers now and viewers later, to check out the links in the description, not only for our wonderful sponsors, but to show some love to these amazing people and players, because they are awesome, and they give their time to come on to this channel and play a fun game with us. So please do so. So unless anybody has anything else that they want to say, no? Until next time.
Hand up.
Oh, hand up. Okay. Yes. Yes.
I have words.
Say the word.
I didn't tell you all this before the game because I showed up like right at the time of the thing. Tomorrow's my birthday, so this is my birthday D&D game, and I'm really excited about it.
Oh,
So
happy
thanks you all for
birthday,
being
Asa.
here.
Happy birthday.
Thank
that
you.
means we have to sing out of sync. Happy birthday.
Just for you,
Yes,
Asa.
please do.
Wait,
Because
that's
I
highly
can't sing.
copyrighted.
Because
Apparently,
I can't sing.
We're not allowed to do that.
I just
Okay.
don't sing.
I
Sing
can't
for me
sing,
when we
so I'll
end
give
the
you
game.
this. Happy birthday.
I'll give you this.
That'll
Asa.
do it. That'll
nice, Frag.
promises to be paid later, Frag, when you get back to the state.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Cool. Thank you for playing. And you know the drill. Until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Dirty.